Happy Thursday. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 16th edition of That's My Story. If this is your first time joining us, That's My Story is a platform where we bring on some of your favorite artists, producers, engineers, and we allow them to share their journey with us in depth, in an interactive way with you guys at home. Behind the scenes, and we go in depth and see what the details of their journey from the beginning up to present day. If this is your first time joining us, I go by the name of Jerry Midas Hardison. Joining me as usual every week are my illustrious co-hosts. Ladies first, representing the Honeycomb, also the Ikeettes, also the wife of phenomenal bass player Earth, Wind and Fire, Verdine White, Miss Shirley Clark White. Also joining me is musician, producer, arranger, vocalist, Mr. Ken Knox, representing the chairman of the board. How you guys doing today?
Hey, we're doing great over here. Great.
Yeah, man. How about yourself?
Hey, listen, I'm still enjoying my water out of my wine glass.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, in the Bible, Jesus turned water into wine. I guess I turned my wine into water. How y'all doing today? We excited about today's show?
Very excited.
Very excited. And of course, we like to take a couple of moments, as we always do, to let our viewers at home come in and get situated, get you guys a chance to have a snack or beverage and sit here. We for this beautiful hour we have outlined for you all. Good evening. Good evening. I think I saw Miss Linda Sue Lane's name there.
Yeah, and me too.
Yeah.
Karen McBride.
Hey. Hi, Karen.
Karen McBride.
Yes. So we
appreciate Lucas.
Yes. And we thank you all so much for your support. I can't say it enough. Week after week, joining us on our program, from the United States, overseas to the UK, to Spain and Austria and all of the other parts of the world that we are. Oh, Mr. West.
We got a newbie.
That's one of our good band friends. Yeah, when we out traveling in North Carolina and Virginia, Mr. West Aston and his wife. Yeah, so we got a first timer. What's up, Wes?
Oh,
late to the party, but better late than never.
We have another first timer, Mr. Paul Mason from the UK.
Paul Mason, okay.
DJ over there.
All right, and one of our usual guests, Miss Hattie Rogers. Good evening to you, madam.
Hey, Hattie.
Good evening to you. We got Pauline Tabron. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, sounds like it.
All right. What you guys been up to this week?
Oh, let's see. It's been a good week so far.
Yeah.
Lots of Zooming, the new normal.
Yes.
And some StreamYarding, and that's about it. We go out when we have to.
That's right.
Verdine went out for acupuncture today.
Okay.
So
he's getting ready.
We're hoping that went well. Absolutely. What about you, Ken?
I'm out every day. No, this pandemic, like Shirley said, you pick your spots where you have to go.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
It's necessary to go to the store, so I find myself going to the store at least twice a week, but that's my exercise.
Right. Yes.
But I'm fully masked, and that's it for me. I'm just waiting for 1 week off and hit the stage.
That's right. Yes, and continue to play it safely. So, I guess without further ado, we will bring on our special guest for the evening. So, ladies and gentlemen, please make some applause, play some noise, give a round of applause at home while we do the same on screen for American singer, most notably with the Jones Girls. Let's make some noise for Miss Shirley Jones.
You.
Hey.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
How are you?
I am fine. Staying in, staying safe.
Yeah, welcome to That's My Story.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. And our question we normally like to kick off our show with our guest is usually, how do you, since we've been on quarantine and this pandemic and everything with COVID going on, how have you occupied your time? How have you been able to stay busy?
In my garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, my guy has a super green thumb, and so I have this entire summer we've had zucchini, squash, onions, bell peppers, spinach, collard greens, and the most beautiful flowers and garden. And so I get out there every now and then and help him just to get some fresh air.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Nothing like being able to go out to the garden and grab some veggies.
Hey, and don't do it as soon as we finish here. Nice dinner.
Yeah, you might have to email us some. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah. So I guess we'll get right into it. So your mother was a well-renowned gospel recording artist. Is that correct?
Absolutely. My mother was the first Black gospel singer to sign to RCA Records. They signed her the same day they signed Little Richard.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. And would you say she had a great influence on your singing early as a child?
Absolutely. My mother, in addition to being a popular gospel singer, she was also a choir director, so she knew voices. Mm-hmm. And we always credit everything, our training, to my mother, because she nurtured our voices. We practiced as kids. Once she knew that we were singing and we started singing behind her, she trained those voices. And so all credit is due to her.
Oh, that's awesome. Great. A lot of talent comes through that gospel circuit for sure.
Oh, yes.
Speaking of, your mother trained you guys, or you girls, fantabulous. You guys were very sought after doing background vocals, right?
Oh yeah, from the age of maybe I'm the oldest, so I was probably about 13 when McKinley happened to see us on a gospel morning show in Detroit. Yeah. And he said, and I didn't even know this until he and I were just together recently. He said he saw us and he said, "Who are those girls? Their harmony is incredible on some gospel show." And that's when he found out, and we met him, and that's when he took us over to Holland Doja Holland and Music Merchant.
Mm-hmm. But doing that, you guys did background for like what, Cher, Lou Rawls, Teddy Pendergrass, Aretha
Franklin, Helen Reddy, and Prince Philip Mitchell, Norman Connors,
heavy hitters.
You name it. Back in the day when in California, Frida Payne. Back in the day, there were two groups that everybody wanted to do background for them, and that was either us or the Waters in California. So in Detroit, we were the ones that were doing a lot of the background. Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. So you mentioned Music Merchant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we all have something in common with the Honeycomb, Chairman of the Board, and the Jones Girls, Holland Doja Holland.
That's right.
Oh yeah, that thread, Holland Doja Holland. Those guys.
That's fantastic. So when the pandemic is over with, I think we need to have a Holland Doja Holland reunion. Well,
we need to. We need to. Yes.
It's so much talent, and great voices and stuff like that. So hey, you ready?
I'm ready. Hey,
that's right. Me too. I'm ready.
Yes.
And if Ken's ready,
everybody spread out. Just let me know when, and hopefully by that time we can get on a plane and meet somewhere.
There you go.
Yeah, Ken, if you're ready, I'm ready by default.
There it is. There it is. Well, God bless McKinley Jackson. There came a point where I believe he mentioned to you guys that Diana Ross was looking for some singers for her tour. I believe it was what was it, a European tour?
Yes.
And we want to talk to you a little bit about that.
Yeah, we when Holland Georgia Holland moved to California, well, of course McKinley moved. Brenda and Valerie were still in high school. So I moved. I had just started my second year of college, and I moved because McKinley and I were together. And so I moved there, and then they would just fly Brenda and Valerie in for us to do background for the different artists for Holland Dozier Holland. And then by this time, the word had gotten around, so we were doing it for other people as well. Awesome. And then one day he came and he said that Diana Ross was looking for some singers, and she had been turning absolutely everybody down. Did we want to audition? And we're young. We're like, hey. He turned everybody else down. She's not gonna turn us down, but we were excited about doing it because I mean, after all, Diana Ross, the Supremes, back in the day, they were the only ones that we had. That Supremes, Martha Reeves, and the Vandellas. Those were the ones that we were just so. Ed Sullivan, whenever Ed Sullivan and they were on the Ed Sullivan show, everybody would gather around their TV sets because it wasn't a common thing back then to see people like me, on television.
Right.
So, of course, we wanted to audition, and we went up there thinking that we were going to audition for Gil Askey, her music director, and her road manager, Don Peake.
Right.
And so we got up there, and McKinley, we had rehearsed Ain't No Mountain High Enough and Reach Out and Touch.
Ooh.
Of course, McKinley got on the piano, and we started singing, and Gil and Don were there. But then halfway through, who comes out of a back room down this long hallway was Diana. And oh my God, to actually see this woman that we grew up just so fascinated with. Brenda ran, I tell this story all the time, and she used to say, no, I wasn't the one, but she ran into the bathroom because she said she felt like she had to throw up. She was and Valerie and I, we were just like, we would not blink. We were like just staring. I couldn't believe that this was actually, happening. And the only words out of her mouth was, you guys are terrific. Can you get some passports? We're going to London. Then all of us were about to faint. Okay, y'all got to get it together because I can't carry all three of y'all.
Right.
So that's how we got to be her singers.
Wow.
And I think being from Detroit probably helped a little bit too.
Always, yeah.
So Shirley, you guys had a chance to do a solo in Diana Ross's show.
After the London, the UK tour, we came back and we were getting ready to do. She did a standing, like every 6 months, stay at Caesar's Palace in Vegas, and then we were going from there around the world, like Japan and other places. So we were so successful in the London part of the tour that she came to us at one of the rehearsals and said, you guys, I changed clothes. She said, you guys were so fantastic. People were just asking me, who are those girls? And I just love you guys. You're so, she said, you're just so talented. And she said, I changed clothes several times in my show. So I want you guys to learn a song. And during one of my costume changes, I plan to let you guys do that song, and so that I can introduce you to the world.
Awesome.
And she didn't. She was going through a situation with Motown during that time, 76, 77, and she did not want us to sign with Motown because Berry Gordy had inquired about us. So she decided that she wanted us, to just let the audiences, maybe somebody would be in the audience one day or something. So that's what she did, and we chose "If I Ever Lose This Heaven," which was a big Quincy Jones song at that time on his album, and that's the song that we chose to do.
Well, speaking of someone being in the audience, wasn't Patti LaBelle and Kenny Gamble in the audience at one point when you guys did your solo set?
When we did our solo set at the Schubert Theater in Philadelphia, she went to do her costume change, and she said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back in a minute, but in the meantime, I want you to enjoy my girls, the Jones Sisters." She never called us Jones Girls; it was Jones Sisters.
Oh, okay.
And Gamble and Huff and Patty, they were all in the audience, and the minute we finished, soon as we finished and the show was finished, she came into our dressing room and brought them with her and introduced us. And they asked us right then, were we signed to anyone? And if not, we told them no. And they said, well, we would love to have you at Philly International.
Awesome.
And the rest is Jones Girls history.
And the first big hit was "You Gonna Make Me Love Somebody Else."
Somebody else. Gamble and Huff. Yes.
In 1979, and that song hit Billboard magazine's top 40 at number 38 in May 1979, and it was also a top 5 R&B hit and was also a gold record.
Ooh.
Yes, it was.
Not a bad start.
First time out the box, and you talking about ecstatic. You couldn't tell us nothing. We were like, oh man! After all these years of singing background behind all of these famous people, we were finally given the opportunity to have a hit as the Jones Girls. We had been on Music Merchant and Kurt Tom and had local hits, but to have a national record and give national recognition, there was nothing like it. Absolutely.
Yeah. That song, that record had every bass player in the land trying to learn that lick.
Really? That was some nasty licks in there. I was checking it out.
Every bass player. And Jimmy Williams. Yes, Jimmy Williams is the bass player on there. God. And he's to this day. Yes.
Yeah, I know Jimmy. Yep. He's playing that?
Jimmy Williams.
Nice.
Yeah. He plays with OJ. Yeah, that's Jimmy. Yeah. And he had every bass player in the country loving, wanting to do that line. Yes.
And a couple more of the OJ songs he had, everybody trying to play. Yeah, Jimmy Williams is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
So,
he's absolutely incredible.
Yeah. In 1980, you guys had another hit, "I Just Love the Man." Right?
Yeah. That's another Gamble and Huff song. And actually the story behind that is the song was complete. But the talking part at the front, the song was complete, but there was no talking in the front. And Kenny kept saying, the song is it's a hit, but there's something missing. And right during that time, McKinley and I were going through a little bad spell, and the girls and I were in the recording booth, and he happened to have her over here. Valerie said, "Well, girl, you probably should just leave them, And Kenny said, "Well, what are you all talking about?" And we said, "Nothing." And he said, no, what are you all talking about? And they said, "Well, Shirley and McKinley going through." And then he said, "That's what we need at the beginning of the song. That's what we need." And so he wrote out some lyrics that had nothing to do with the situation. And that's how that, which was true. I was telling them, I don't care what y'all say. McKinley and I, we're going to be all right. We going to, I just love that.
The girls are real protective of you. I mean,
extremely. Yes. Oh yeah, we were protective of each other. Yes.
You got to have that.
Very much. Yeah.
As you should be.
So if you were having an issue, the other two would come to your rescue and give you advice.
Oh, absolutely. We gave each other advice because we were stair steps, and especially out there on the road, because um, so many different elements come at
Yeah.
you, when you're out on the road. And we were very, very, very sheltered. My mother kept us rehearsing and practicing all the time to keep us away from boys.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and even when we were at Music Merchant and Curtom, everybody knew my mom. They would even set her whenever we went to do sessions, or they knew they would set her a chair and she would sit there with her Bible and her glasses, and would peep over those glasses. She was at
Mhm.
every session until I was 18 years old and went to California. My mother, she didn't play, so we learned to, kind of help each other and be protective of each other out there on the road. But we got that because we were so sheltered. We didn't have anybody to turn to but each other.
Mhm.
There you go. That's right.
Okay, so now you guys released another song. It was a different kind of song in 1981, I think, R&B charts, called Nights Over Egypt, which Incognito covered. All I know is when I was posting you were on the show, people were writing in Nights Over Egypt, Nights Over Egypt. And that was by Dexter Wansel. And how did he come up with that? It was very different
Dexter
song.
Wansel. Well, yes, Dexter Wansel. The lyricist, though, is Cynthia Biggs. They were partners, Dexter Wansel and Cynthia Biggs. And the whole purpose of that song, we wanted something different on the album. And Dexter is, he's like one of he and McKinley are like just geniuses with music. And when he presented that song to us, we were like, I don't know. This sounds a little jazzy to us. But when Cynthia gave us the lyrics, we were like, oh man, that is so different. And so we all sat together and said, well, because of the etherealness of the song, we wanted to do something different where we decided we did not want a lead voice. We didn't want any step outs. We wanted the unisons and the harmonies to be a lead vocal.
Oh, wow.
And so that's how we decided to just do all unison and harmony. So of course, we had to make sure that the harmonies were just super tight because that was going to be the lead voice. And that's how that song came about. But man, were we in the studio forever because Valerie had perfect pitch.
Wow.
And she was blessed with perfect pitch. And we wanted that song, the harmonies and unisons to be the lead voice. So we had to make sure it was absolutely perfect. And all these many years later, some people don't remember You're Gonna Make Me Love Somebody Else, but everybody knows the Jones Girls from Nights Over Egypt. It's taken on just a life of its own. I'm talking about these young rap stars. Everybody is in love with that song.
Yes.
You all stuff has been sampled or covered over 100 times.
Yes.
And that says something about the music.
Can you hear me, Shirley?
No, I didn't say anything.
Okay, I was gonna say, or
yes, I hear you.
Okay, you made reference to your sister Valerie having perfect pitch. Would you mind explaining to our viewers at home what that means?
It means that you're blessed with you can hear if something is sharp or flat. I mean, they have the ability to just everything. If something is not right vocally or even on an instrument, they can pinpoint it right away that it's either too sharp or it's flat. And that's what she was born with. And her son has that same thing. And if you've ever been around someone that has perfect pitch, oh my God, they're the worst.
They're a pain.
Because
They're a
get
pain.
it
Yeah. Right. It's almost like something irks them when it's a little bit out of pitch, whether it be a vocal or instrumental. Right. Yeah. So I just wanted to.
We already had in the studio back then, you couldn't fly anything in. There was no such thing as doing one pass and flying, and then somebody's going to auto-tune it to correct it. You had to do it back.
You're right.
And you had to do it.
Right. So I just wanted to elaborate on that because sometimes we being musicians and artists, we know what some of those terms mean, but I like to make I just like to make sure those at home have a proper understanding. Thank you for explaining that for us. So also in 1980, you guys were on Soul Train. Tell us a little bit how that experience was for you.
Oh my God! Shirley knows back in the day. Hey, if you were getting a gig on Soul Train, you were happening. You were hot. And when we got that call, we were so excited. And it was during I think we did Dance Turn to Romance and Children of the Night, because Dance Turn to Romance was the single that was out at that time. And to meet Don Cornelius and the Soul Train crew, and for us to be as young as we were, I tell our audience all the time that was our audience, that age group, because we grew up with our audience, and we were like meeting all these dancers that we see, every Saturday. We were more excited to meet them, or just as excited to meet them as they were us, and to be on the show. Yeah, boy. Every time when I see, I just miss those two girls so much. I remember, it's so much. Those were some fun days for me, I tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1983, you guys did a video that put Fear in the Men with the song titled "To Win You Back." Remember that?
What was it?
To Win You Back.
Oh yeah, To Win You Back. That was when we had left Gamble and Huff and went to RCA Records at that time, and that was the first single.
So was it as much fun to tape as it looked?
Well, it was the first single. Robert Wright and I believe Fonzie Thornton wrote that song.
Okay.
To Win You Back.
What was the difference in leaving Philly International RCA? I mean, were you treated a little bit different at RCA now?
Well, all I can say is we were pushed. Management wanted us to try something different. We weren't sure about doing it, but Gamble at that time wasn't real sure that they were going to, re-sign us. And RCA offered a better contract. But hindsight, so I wish we had stayed. But we decided to, go for the bucks, but at the same time, our hearts were still at Philly International. But RCA invested a lot of money in that, in the record, unfortunately, when they released the album, Gamble released Keep It Coming at the same time, which was produced by Kenny Burke. And hey, what can you say? That Keep It Coming album did better than the To Win You Back album, because they were in competition with each other. And people didn't know that the Keep It Coming album was an album that we had recorded before we left Philly International.
Well, we're going to jump into 1986 when you struck out on your own with the solo career. Right out the gate, though, you have a #1 hit, Do You Get Enough Love? What was it like? That was your first record without your sisters, correct?
Yes. It was the first record without them. We were going through a situation. Brenda had moved to Atlanta. We had just decided that we needed to take a break from each other because the music business, there was so much stuff coming at us that we needed to take a break. Valerie wanted to try her hand at college, because she's the only one that didn't get a chance to experience college because she was so young when we started. And Gamble happened to call me and ask me, what was I doing and how was I feeling about the breakup, and I told him, I'm good with it, and he asked me if I would be interested in doing a solo project. And I told him absolutely, because that's even now, I feel like I'm keeping the legacy going, for both of my sisters.
Absolutely.
So I feel that's what I was put here to do. So I told him absolutely. And that album going in there, and Al McKay, Al McKay did the B side. We wanted to have a fast side and a slow side. I was always trying to do things a little different. And Al McKay did the entire slow side, the fast side, the up tempo side.
Wow.
And that Always in the Mood was born. Yes.
Wow.
Nice.
I understand. Okay, here's a story for you. This song was intended for the OJs. Is that correct?
Yes, Bunny Siegler wrote it, and actually the OJs had did it. And Bunny was sulking, and he was so upset because they had turned it down for their album, that was getting ready to come out. They didn't select it. So he was like, I don't know why, they didn't. And I said, I love this song. I want to do it. And he's like, you want to do it? I said, yeah. I said, women need to ask that question too, So he said, hey, if Gamble says that you can do it, go ask him. And I asked Gamble, and he said, do you get enough love? You really think you could do that? I said, yeah, I want to do it. So they let me do it, and Bunny and I did the background, and it was a #1 record. And I mean, the Jones Girls hadn't even had #1 because back in the day, Michael Jackson or somebody was always Earth, Wind and Fire. Somebody was always holding that #1 spot.
Yeah. Look at Shirley.
That was thinking something.
Right.
Well, this story is 6 degrees of separation. You just mentioned Al McKay. Al was writing for an act back in the day called Curtis the Brothers, and he needed a hit. He needed a song on them right away because you know how these projects languish on and on and on.
Right.
So he went to Maurice. And Maurice said, "Oh, I got the best song," and so they put this song together called Boogie Wonderland. And they took it to Curtis the Brothers, and they did the same thing. They no, that's not that we can't do that. That's not where we coming from, man.
Yeah.
Maurice said, "Well, I have an idea. I'm gonna get the emotions and cut this on ourselves," and that's exactly what happened. So here, Al McKay was in 2 different places, the same situation going on.
Wow.
But
Wow.
anyway. And we also have another connection. Taz, you have a photo of this one. You went to a benefit. You see that guy, Tony Dow? That's my cousin. And
yes.
That's right. Everybody that doesn't know, that's Wally from Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah, Leave It to Beaver.
The older brother.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Right?
Yes.
We're all connected. We're all connected in this thing called life.
That's we know. We really truly are.
So I know we're in the middle of talking about your solo career, but I wanted to backtrack just a moment and go back to another one of the Jones Girls songs, titled let me get it right. Who Can I Run To?
Who Can I Run To? Yes. That's actually my favorite Jones Girl song.
Yeah.
My absolute favorite. That's not only the vocal performance when we recorded it in the studio, but absolutely every time my sisters and I performed it, and even now when I perform it, that is just my favorite song to perform.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Escape, the girl group Escape, I think they were signed to Jermaine Dupri, So Def. They covered that record 15 years after you guys had done it.
Yes, which was great because it brought about a lot of attention and it made a lot of people that did not know because the younger generation, still a lot of them don't know, that we did it first. But in 1995, you know how they used to play their record and then they'd say, but who did it first? And then they play our
Right.
version.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I love that song too. Now,
Yeah,
I got to be honest with you. I heard Escape's version first, then I had to go back and do my homework. So it did, as far as opening up the eyes to it, of the new audience. I was part of that, so I fall into that category as well myself.
And when they did their unsung, they gave us our props and showed
Nice.
the picture and played a little bit of our version too. And I've ran into the girls, and they've always said we don't think we did as good of a job. I said, yeah, you guys did a terrific job. You sold 2 million copies. I said, but you did a good job too, because it was on the B side of "You're Gonna Make Me Love Somebody Else," so it sold 2 million copies too.
Yes, indeed. And it is harder for the artist to duplicates it. A lot of times it's harder to beat that. It's very hard to beat that original.
That's right.
Oh, it's very hard.
Yeah, it's just something about the original of anything, really. Sometimes it's hard
The
to
foundation. Yes,
Yeah.
that's where it came from. The original original artist. Now also I think that your nephew and your son have redone the song as well.
Man, yes, they have. Who can I run number two? And it is, I mean, it is jamming. They have a video to it, and those boys, I told them, I said, I'm passing the baton to y'all because they did their thing on that one. And it's getting ready to be on Fat Joe's mixtape that comes out
really?
September 3rd. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I keep up with Fat Joe. Yeah.
I'm
So
excited about that. Yeah.
that's awesome. That's
saw that.
awesome. Yeah. So hey, that you definitely have to brag on yourself,
That's right.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. With patting yourself on the back every once in a while.
Nice.
Okay, so they did a hip hop verse sampling it, and so they rap. Okay, I got to understand. I thought they were singing the original vocal, but that's awesome.
That's great. And that's and your nephew.
That's Valerie's son and my son.
That's
Cameron, the tall guy. He's 6'6", and PJ. PJ's an excellent keyboard player and producer.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Very nice.
No, I think is it Cam Jones?
He goes by Cam Jones. His name's Cameron.
Yeah, I saw something from here earlier. He says, "Mom, he loves this interview that you're doing."
Oh, great.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Cam Jones. What up?
Yeah. His wife blessed me with my grandbaby. She's 2 years old. A couple of years ago, yes.
This year, you won the Lifetime Achievement Award by Radio and Records.
Yes, we did. The Unsung Heroine Award. Yes.
Oh, nice. I think Gene Carn and Melba Moore have received that as well.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So, what was it like? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We couldn't be there. It was Sunday night, because of the pandemic. So they're mailing them to us. But I mean, this pandemic has just got everything, so you have to do everything, virtually.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to you.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
And what an honor. You definitely deserve this.
That's right. You're in great company. Right. Well, we wanted to talk to you a little bit about something that's near and dear, especially in my heart, because I have an adult son of color like you do. And we want to talk about the unrest that's going on in the country with the Black Lives Matter movement. You did a song called "There Are No Differences." What moved you to do this?
Well, Cynthia and I did that song several years ago. She's the same lady that wrote Nights Over Egypt. She wrote If Only You Knew for Patti LaBelle. Love TKO for Teddy Pendergrass. She's I tell her she's like the Carol King of writing lyrics. You know, I'm a lyricist myself and I write, but you know, certain people just have lyrics that just move you. And when she presented that song to me several years ago, I just fell in love with it and wanted to do it. And here we are, fast forward till she called me and she said, "Girl, so I'm getting so many downloads from There Are No Differences." I said, "Really?" And I said, "Well, I said, yeah, because of these times, you know." So we decided to do a video, um, because the song I feel is so uplifting and it's just so to the point. Because when you really every day I wake up and I pinch myself and I'm like, is this really happening? You know, is this the America, you know, that we grew up in? I mean, this is just absolutely not just the pandemic, but
Sure,
all the
sure.
things that when we were children, we were, you know, our parents, my mother had us marching and we were going through all of this stuff that I never dreamed my son would
Right.
be experiencing stuff that our parents and their parents fought and walked and bled and died for. And here it is, like just in all of our faces, starting from the very top with the most racist, vile man I've ever. When I look at TV, I'm like, I just don't believe that this is America.
I know.
So we decided to invest and do a video, you know, just to do my part to just come on, people. We
Right.
are one. This is the human race, and let's vote because we cannot go back. I think everybody's pretty tired now from the past 3.5 years, and the beauty of
Thank
the
you.
past couple of days with the first Black woman with the opportunity
That's right.
to become vice president of the United States. Come on, let's
That's right.
do this because that is America. That ticket right there is America. And that is what America is. We are not going back to the 50s. We
Mm-mm.
are not going back. So yeah, let's, you know, uplift each other. That's the one thing I do like about Zooming and StreamYarding.
Uh-huh.
You get to connect with people, and everybody seems to be of the same mindset.
Right.
You know, this pandemic has just put so much stuff right in front of our faces,
Sure has.
right in front of our faces. The inequalities that have been going on. So let's march forward and through this pandemic. And remember, we are all one. We're
Sure.
all one. There are
That's
no
right.
differences.
That's right.
None.
Yeah.
You mentioned our girl Kamala Harris. I saw an
Yes.
I saw an interview that she gave the other day where she said her favorite song is "Reasons" by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yes,
So
we did. Yes.
shout
And
out
she
to
was trying to sing
Yeah,
it a
yeah.
little bit.
shout out to the guys.
Yes, indeed.
We actually have a guest.
Special guest.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hey, I know this. I know this guy right here.
Hello, hello, ladies. Hello, guys. Hello, ladies, guys.
Hello, hello.
I've enjoyed the whole show. Hi, Shirley.
Hi. Hey
I've
there.
been my life forever.
Yeah.
McKinley, what a find! I mean, you always found great talent, but this is really something.
Yeah, man.
Well, you got about 5. I see 4 great talents in front of my face.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Appreciate that.
This has really been so great listening. And Shirley, you brought quite a few things that really educated me on some nuances that I wasn't aware of. You know.
Really?
Yeah.
The same way when we were in Detroit, the nuances that you made me remember. So, because sometimes, you know, when it's been 30, 40 years, we all, you know, you forget some things, but You bring. No, you know, I used to be like, oh, always, oh no, I'm 36, I'm forever 49. Now I'm proud of where I am, and I thank God for each and every day, each and every blessing, because
that's exactly right. I tell people, I'm proud of every gray hair that I've earned. I've earned them.
You've earned them, huh?
They want to keep earned them.
Yes, indeed, man.
You're still the silver fox.
Shirley Clark.
Yeah.
Shirley White. I have to remember that.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll be all of it.
That's
Well,
great.
I'm glad you're here, McKinley.
man.
We're gonna ask Shirley about something I missed last month. You guys in July did like a sing-off, a head-to-head on Facebook with the Emotions. Unbelievable. I wanted to ask you, how did that come about? Were you present when it happened, or
no?
Where were you?
I found out about it later. I had to watch a replay of it because some people were telling me, and then when I watched it, because growing up, the Emotions were a little bit ahead of us, but once we were with Tom, and then once You're Gonna Make Me Love Somebody Else came out, you know how people try to pit groups against each other.
All the time.
But it was never like that. And in fact, the few times that we met, it was always like at a party or at a convention or something. And we always had the best time with the girls. And then I performed maybe about 7 or 8 years ago. And I think it was Sheila, and if Wanda wasn't there, it was somebody's daughter, and I was with my 3 singers, and we got a chance to perform on the same show together. But back in the day, I mean, we were friends. We would run into each other at the airport or at a convention or something. So the fact that it was a tie, that was really good, because so many people always compared our sound to their sound.
Well, the thing is,
harmonies, those family harmonies.
Yeah, exactly what I was going to say. You can't beat family harmonies. The same with the Emotions and the Jones Girls. No imitation. It was just a harmony. I mean, you can't. There's like 3-part harmony out of one voice.
Yeah. Wow.
The same.
And I think it's because the resonance. Because like Brenda, Valerie, and I. When we would answer the telephone, people would they wouldn't know if it was me, Brenda, or Valerie, because we sounded just alike over the telephone.
Yeah.
Even when McKinley, remember you would call the house sometime, and you'd be like, "Hey, bring this to the studio for me," and Valerie would be like, "What?" And you be like, "Tell Shirley, I need this. Tell her to bring this to the studio."
Those were the great days. The great days, and your mother also, and Ida, and Eddie Robinson, those were the great days before anything happened or anybody knew anything. Your mother, she was one of a kind. I went to church earlier when you guys were on the show. I went to church. I mean, really, she was like, when I hear Shirley Season now, I always think about your mother.
Oh yeah.
Very powerful. Very powerful.
Well, they say that Edna sounds a lot like Frida Payne, and Frida Payne sounds like Sherry Payne, and all of us were over there together on Hot Wax or Invictus, whatever. But maybe one day they'll have a head-to-head with all of us. We'll see.
Shirley, the real thing though?
What?
You slow the records down, you all sound like Edward Holland.
There it is.
Oh my gosh.
It's true. With the Supreme
Jamie,
and the
I
Four
love
Tops.
this record.
Same thing with the Supremes and Four Tops. You speed up the Four Tops and it sounds like Supreme. Slow down the Supreme, sound the Four Tops. And it's a reflection of the guy that dubbed them in and the phrasing that they would have. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
Try that.
Eddie's song Jamie was the bomb. You remember that one?
Which one?
Oh, Jamie. Eddie's song.
Oh, yeah, Jamie.
Talk about Jamie.
I'm leaving. Yeah. Well, Eddie and even Lamont, I enjoyed his too. Why Can't We Be Lovers? And Brian Holland, Don't Leave Me Starving for Your Love. I've always wanted to record that again.
Right.
Okay.
By the way, Ken, you guys did an exceptional job on Willing. Was it? I'm ready,
willing, and able.
Yeah, that was exceptional. I was listening to it on the way over here.
Oh,
Repeatedly,
Yeah.
and that should you should not let that go. That's a good record. Good record.
Yeah.
well, thank you. That came about because, as you know, General was one heck of a songwriter, and
Oh yeah.
and when he passed away, I knew that I had to step up. That was like the second song I ever wrote and produced, arranged in my life.
Wow.
Good song, good production, good string line, good vocals, good string lines, good production.
Thank you, man.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, McKinley, you hanging out with us the rest of the show?
Yeah, we're not gonna let him go.
Okay, cool. All right.
If Shirley and Shirley are here, I will be here.
All right, cool deal.
Right.
I love you guys too. I love you.
Yeah.
Guys.
Oh man, listen. It's all love. It's great. And ladies and gentlemen at home, just in case you didn't know, McKinley was on episode 7. So if you haven't seen that, once we get off tonight, feel free to go back on and check out episode 7. All right. We're going to continue with Shirley here.
Okay.
With the hours growing here. So Shirley, tell us about any projects that you're currently working on.
Well, right now, I'm getting ready to do a video on my single, which is also a remake of Who Can I Run To, called I Won't Tell. I'm doing that within a couple of weeks. And I just finished I think I may have one more part in the unsung story, the Jones Girls Unsung, that's coming out in probably late winter. I'm not sure which episode, but it's season 11, so it's the season that's coming up. And other than that, once I do that video, I will be in here hoping and praying to get through November 3rd, so that we can get somebody in place like Joe Biden that's going to make everybody wear masks for a few months, and then we'll be past this thing. We can stomp this thing in the ground.
Yes, indeed.
And get back out there, because I'm so ready to get back out to sing. I don't know what to do.
I know it.
I may, in the meantime, do this Facebook Live. They've been trying to get me to do a show, several, where you do the live thing. I've got a couple of offers to do that, and I may end up doing it. But to me, I just want to get back on stage.
Yeah, and that'll be great. In the meantime, if you decide to follow through with that opportunity.
Yeah, I got a couple of people that Calvin Richardson, he's been doing quite a few of them. So they're talking about me and my Lenny Williams and I might possibly do one coming up. So we're trying to work out the details and the date and all of that.
Well, that's awesome. Now you also had a CD. I don't know if you're currently working on it or maybe in your last project titled "In Loving Memory."
That's the one I'm working on now.
That's the one.
To my sisters, Brenda and Valerie. Yes.
Okay, so that's the title, "In Loving Memory." Okay. All right, and so now we're gonna go to. Are you ready to take some questions from the audience at home, Shirley?
Absolutely.
Now we get into the interactive part. So, ladies and gentlemen at home, if you have a question for Ms. Shirley Jones, please type it, and we're gonna do some scrolling and try to make sure that you get your question answered. And I guess McKinley, you can chime in too if it pertains. As far as while you're here, we might as well put you to work, right? Add a few more grades to you while you're here.
Add a few more grades.
I'm just kidding.
I tell you, Shirley, do you get enough love? That was you and Bonnie Siegel on background. That was great. I listened to it a moment when it played. Great, good.
Yeah.
Sound in the background. Good
sound. Bunny was a heck of a singer. He had some records out himself.
Heck of a singer, writer, entertainer also.
He really was.
And he did gospel singing. He went into gospel for a while.
He did. He did.
What's up? Kate Hadel says, "What's up, guys? Hey, Shirley, love from the Big Easy."
The Big Easy.
Hey. Oh wait, Nolans.
Nolans. Yeah. Shout out Miss Deborah McFadder, and I want to shout out my mom and my sister and my aunt real fast. I'm scrolling. If you have any questions at home, oh, here's one. Let's see. Slender Sue Lane. Why do you think Nights Over Egypt had better success in later years rather than back in the 80s?
The reason I think, because Nights Over Egypt was actually the third single off of that album. And I think if it had been the first single, it probably would have been, more popular then as it is now. But Valerie was the only one that wanted that song to be the first single. She told Gamble and them she fought for that song to be the first single but it was always a typical Gamble and Huff song that had to be the first single. But Valerie fought hard for that, and I think that that's the reason. And then people have just started going through music from back in the day, and a lot of these youngsters, I think, because of the instrumentation and just the uniqueness of the fact that there's no real lead vocal, the harmonies and unisons are one voice. That's something people don't hear very often, and I think that that's part of the reason why it's been so successful with young people. Everybody says it's just such good, relaxing, driving music. It just takes you away from all of the
That's
of the world.
Record. That's a classic record, and sophisticated and intellectually involved. I mean, the whole thing. That music there, I'm sure had spread format. It just wasn't an R&B record, first of all.
Right.
Very piece of music. That's what that was. Excellent piece of music. Defies defies R&B, jazz. It was all of it. It's a great song. I'll tell you another one. Peace with Woman.
Yes. Now that's Gamble and Huff. Yeah. At Peace with Woman. Kenny wrote those lyrics, and that's another one. And I have to do that song, especially overseas. Overseas, that song, Nights Over Egypt, At Peace with Woman, are, as they say over there, massive records.
Massive, yeah, you got it.
Massive.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Oh, here's our good buddy Chuck, Charles Etcherson. Were you related to Ernestine Jones out of Detroit? When I visited her home, she always said you guys were related. I played with her son, Renardo Copeland.
No. My uncle's wife was Ernestine Frazier, but she did not have a son named Renardo. No, so no.
Scrolling, guys. If you have a question for Shirley Jones of the Jones Girls, get it in now. This is the portion of the show where we do take questions from you guys. If you have something that you would like to know, inquire about. I'm going to give a shout out to Miss Crystal Stewart, also Miss Angie Joseph, who is the wife of our chairman of the board drummer, Jerome Joseph. She's on today.
Okay.
You know that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling. Not many questions, guys. Okay, let me make sure I don't want to miss anybody. Okay. Is that Jackie? Is that correct, Jackie? Okay. Jackie Davis. Do you have a favorite singer or performer that you listen to today?
I listen to so many different people from back in the day to even some of these some of the younger people. I'm really impressed with Lettucey. I love Lettucey.
Oh yeah, Lettucey.
Yes.
I like her too.
Yeah.
All right.
How about the Monet? What's her name?
Janelle
Monet.
Yeah, Janelle Monet.
Yeah, I like Janelle. Yeah, I like her too.
Somebody, they want to put you on the spot, Shirley. Kate Hato, can we get some Who Can I Run To acapella? This might be a first.
Oh my God. Oh boy.
Give us our notes, Shirley.
As I stand here contemplating on the right thing to decide, will I take the wrong direction all my life? Where will I go? Lies ahead of me. Who can I run to?
Yeah.
To share this empty space. Who can I run to? to? When I need love, oh love, who can I run to? Fill this empty face with laughter, who can I run to? When I need love.
Oh yeah.
That's my story first.
Yeah, that is a first.
That's a first.
Ken with the harmony. I hear you, Ken.
Yeah, kid, go right on in there.
I love that song.
I was waiting for Jerry coming to boom, boom.
Nah,
Oh, yeah.
I just hit the break. Who can I run to? That part when the break before the I need love.
Yeah.
Hey, Charles, at home, we're gonna need to get you a autocorrect.
You're welcome.
Charles, they got what you saying, buddy. Get on India Cam with Harmony. I don't know, Charles. All right. Nah, he's got a couple of. He's been trying to type some stuff. I haven't been able to make it. I'm just giving Chuck a hard time at home.
Hey guys, before you turn off, can I give a shout out to my grandkids real quick?
Sure, man.
I got a great grandchild now, Shirley.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Owen.
Whoa.
Yeah, Deshaun's first. See, when Proof was a kid, Shirley and I took care of Proof in California.
Sure.
Yeah, that's right. And the vice is, he would urinate in the bed. I'll try to tie his legs up so they go.
And I would just put plastic on the bed. Every time he would come for the summer, I just put plastic all over the bed.
His first son has a son now, Owen, and my grandsons is Deshaun, Katiba, Nason, Naeem, and Elijah, and Dana. Yeah, and my great grandson is Owen.
Okay.
Moving on up there, Shirley.
Wow. How many grandkids do you have?
Six, I think. Six.
Oh
Yeah.
boy, since you think, huh?
Wow.
Blessing.
I'm just starting. I got my two.
All right. Well, I think that's all the questions we have for today.
Oh, good. So we're right.
Oh, here's one.
Here's another one.
Miss Hattie Rogers says, "Did you ever perform with the Mighty Pointer Sisters?"
No, but we met them in June in particular. You know, I knew them because we had the same. Back in the day, we were wearing when we were wearing our hair braided. We had the same braider. So she in California, so she would braid June's hair, and we went to several of their performances as the Jones Girls, but we never performed with them.
Okay. Awesome. All right. I think that'll do it for the questions.
Shirley.
Yes.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Shirley had disappeared. I didn't know what happened.
Yeah. No, bad internet. I'm back, but I'm back.
Yes. Hey, it happens. It's a live show.
I'm back.
So, now, how can we reach you on social media? How can people?
Everybody can reach me as Shirley Jones of the Jones Girls for Facebook and Instagram. My website is shirleyjonesgirl.com. And on Twitter, I am Jones Girl Shirley. So reach out to me, hit me up, you know, and because sometimes we all just need to know that people are out there listening and listening to the music, because one thing I can say about music from back in the day is that no matter if it was a love song between a man or a woman, most of us, in fact, just about all of us that I know, that we created music that just soothe your soul, make you feel good, make you and I think that's why people go back to that music now, the young people, because it soothes your soul, it uplifts you, and take that music that we all work so hard to give to you all and help you guys get through these times. And remember, November 3rd, vote.
Yes.
Vote.
Yes, indeed. I'm with that.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Team Airplay.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes.
For making this happen, for setting this up.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we give a shout outs, we got to give a shout out to our producer behind the scenes, Miss Taz Cole.
Yeah, it does.
Worked so hard from week to week and
Yay,
giving
Taz.
you guys these visuals and popping the videos and pictures and everything up. So we want to definitely acknowledge her. All right.
That's right.
We wanted it
And
on
a shout
up.
out, another shout out to my Cam, my babies Cam and PJ. And hey, you guys did your thing. Yes.
I follow Cam. He's active on Instagram too.
Okay, great.
Oh yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Well, we just want to remind everyone to join us next week. We are going to have someone very near and dear to my heart, the legendary Earth, Wind, and Fire vocals and drummer and everything else, principal, founding member, Mr. Ralph Johnson. And so we want everybody to tune in for that.
Because I say one thing before I leave, Shirley and Shirley are looking so great. I just can't keep my eyes on that side of the screen.
Thank you.
Sincerely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
McKinley's quite
even
the
in
gentleman.
a pandemic,
I know, right?
In a pandemic, you got it.
What a gentleman! What a gentleman!
I'm trying to learn
truth. Only speak the truth.
I'm trying to learn from McKinley, not just music. How to be suave. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. Before we get out of here, we want to remind everyone to go over to our YouTube channel as well as our Facebook page. The chairman of the board, official chairman of the board. Make sure you like and subscribe. So as we have new content, you guys will be first to be notified. And tell your friends, pass it along. It's no fun you just having access by yourself. Tell a few friends, and you guys can digest the content together. So again, that's our YouTube page as well as our Facebook page. Make sure you go over and like and subscribe. You guys got any closing remarks before we sign off?
Well, Shirley, we got some music to write too, Shirley.
What?
You hear that?
We got music to write, Shirley.
Oh yeah.
We got music that we didn't finish that we have to complete.
That's right. And I'm waiting on that music so that I can get to writing, McKinley.
Shirley, I want you to go out to that garage and find all those tapes we have.
All those tapes, huh? Yeah, I see some collaborations coming about from this show in the future.
Oh definitely.
We wrote a lot.
And Shirley, your please tell your husband the Earth, Wind, and Fire. They're like my favorite. They were my actual second date when I was 17 years old. My mother finally let me go on a date, and I went to see Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Commodores. Oh my God!
Wow!
Yeah,
I'll be sure.
Yeah, shout out to Verdine.
He was excited. He was excited when I told you were doing the show. And thank you so much for being here. We love you.
Yeah, well, thank you all. It's been so much fun because you guys show pictures and videos that I hadn't seen in years. And I don't know if you noticed, but at one point there were tears in my eyes because when I think of my sisters in those days, but they're everywhere with me spiritually. I feel them all the time. So thank you for those beautiful memories. I really appreciate that. Because most interviews I do, they just play the music, but to actual
the
pictures
visuals.
and the visual, yes, it just brought back so many wonderful memories. And thank you all for that. I've had a blast. I've had a ball.
So have I.
I'm gonna want to make sure to tell Shirley, you and McKinley stay on after we sign off, and we can have a small chat if you don't mind.
Another collaboration.
All right.
Yeah. Mr. Ken
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Mr. Ken
No problem.
Any closing words for you, sir, before we sign off?
Hey man, I enjoyed this, especially I've been a big fan of Shirley's for years. You know, coming out of Detroit, all you heard about was the Jones Girls. You know,
That's right.
and you know, I'm just proud to say that hey, I'm glad she's on the show, and a shout out to Mike Austin for making this happen.
Well, ladies and gentlemen at home, once again, we thank you so much for your support. You guys definitely make this worthwhile. We could not do this without you. We can't thank you enough. But I just want to say thank you. Make sure we acknowledge you all. We enjoy doing this. Thank you for the support internationally, even in our home base of the United States, as well as internationally across the waters in the UK, Austria, Barcelona, Spain. You all, thank you so much. We're going to say good night. We're going to say please stay safe, and we'll see you next week for episode 17. God bless. Peace. Y'all stay.